What's up? Howdy, people. Howdy, howdy. It is Friday night. Show number 100. Behind the desk. What's up, Scott Settle? RC Glory, what's happening? Victor Shameless, how you doing? Nate? Rich M? Uh, I uh, I want to come down next week, but here's the thing. Defrost, how you doing? I have to go up to Pittsburgh on the 15th of February. And if I come down to Florida on in the first week of February and then have to turn around the next week and go up to Pittsburgh for a week, I might die. And I'm not going to die because, you know, it's too hard. I'm going to die because Amy would kill me. So I might have to. Hey, Spencer, how you doing, man? No problem. Mr. R.C. Roland, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, so I might die because I think my wife would probably kill me. And here's the thing, like I can't even go to Pittsburgh when I'm supposed to go. Like they want me to show up to Pittsburgh on February. Let's see. They want me to come up there on the 13th and then go back on like the 19th, right? So they want me there like all day, the 14th through the 18th, that whole week, right? And, I'm like, are y'all crazy? So, I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it down there because I don't want Amy to murder me while I'm sleeping. So I have to go up to Pittsburgh, and I'm even going to be late for that. Where, like I said, I am being summoned to come up there on the 13th. That just ain't happening. So I'm going to come up there on the 15th because y'all know the 14th is Valentine's Day, and if I ain't home for Valentine's Day, I'm going to get murdered. So there's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of reasons why as much as I want to come down to Florida E-Jets, it just ain't in the cards this year because of work and because of the whole Valentine's Day thing, and that's just too much being gone all at once. So it is what it is. But I will be down there for not Florida E-Jets, but there's another one. Anyway, I'll be down there this year. Just not for this one. Paul Dayton, we might very well be doing some zooming tonight. Here in about an hour. So everybody look forward to that. How many of you guys have had an opportunity to check out the video that I did on the Spectrum S155, the new smart charger? Excuse me. Tell me what you think. I know that it's not a charger that's, that's something that a lot of you really need or want. But I think that it's something that a lot of people are, especially folks that are new to the hobby, are going to be able to pick up for a cheap price. And I think it's an excellent little charger. $60. I know I keep saying $50 in the video, so for those of y'all that are here, let me say, if you didn't read the comment, shame on you, but if you did, you see that I corrected myself and was like, oops. Then people lied to me. And it's $60, not $50. I think I like the way that $50 rolls off the tongue a little easier, so I just kept saying $50 in the video, even though I knew while I was making it that it was 60. Boss223, how you doing? Craig Beaven, Michael writes, speaking of $60, I think that we should create a pool and pay Wrightsa tonight to yell at somebody. No, listen, I think that $60 for that little charger is a very fair price, especially when you compare it to the old, like the Venom Pro, Venom Pro 2, Venom Pro 3. I mean, there were a ton of those little 50-watt Venom chargers. Yep, $60 is $60. So, yeah, it's false advertising. I mean, Dennis, it's a damn shame that I'm not really doing an ad. I mean, they can't sue me. Like, you told me, Marshall told me it was $50. Like, Marshall fucking lied to you. Sorry, dude. So, Jermaine Spencer, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. So anyway, the only bad thing really about that charger, you know, and I address it in my in the video. The two bad things, the two things I don't like about it. I mean, it's just the two bad things. It's not even two bad things that I don't like. The two things that I think that people would have to gripe about. It can only charge up to 4S batteries. It can't do 6S. But I'll tell you right now, if you're using a 55-watt charger to charge 6S packs, you must have a whole lot of time on your hands, because it's going to take like 2.5 hours, 3 hours to charge a 6S pack with that little bitty thing. It ain't worth it. You know, don't try to charge 6S packs with a 50-watt charger. You're going to be waiting all day. All right, the next thing is it doesn't do storage charging and it doesn't do discharging. How many folks in here have tried to discharge one of their batteries with a battery charger before? Let's see a show of hands. Does anybody in here discharge their batteries with a battery charger? Has anybody in here attempted to discharge their battery with a battery charger? Because if you have, I think that you already know what I'm about to say. If you discharge your batteries with a battery charger, that's going to take like 10 hours. It takes way too long. Exactly. Rich M's got it. It takes way too long. You know, the best chargers out there can only discharge your battery at like 1 watt. The only ones that can do it any better are chargers that cost $300-400. You know, so like your Rev Electrics, your you know, and I think like your Rev Electric power stations, your iChargers. Those can discharge faster, but the way that they do it is through what's called regenerative discharging. And what regenerative discharging means is that you're taking the power out of this battery and you're putting it into another one. So even when you're done, discharging all your little packs, all you've done is you've taken the energy in your little pack, you've discharged it very quickly, I might add, into like a 6S battery or even like a lead acid battery. A lot of people will use like a car battery as their regenerative discharge source. But, if you've been watching this long enough, if you have the money to buy a car battery as your regenerative discharge source, excuse me, then you have the money to buy an ISDT FD200 discharger. That is the best way to discharge your batteries if you cannot fly or drive your model. Get an FD200. Get an FD100. They're still really good. But the FD200 is the bomb, and it will discharge your battery in like 15 minutes, and you're done. You don't have to do nothing else. So I really enjoy, having a dedicated discharger available in the event that I take a bunch of batteries to the field and it starts raining or it does something crazy or I get a phone call or whatever happens while I'm at the field and for whatever reason I can't fly all my packs down. I mean, you land your plane in a tree, whatever happens. And even that day, I didn't come home with charged batteries because I had the always faithful HSD 182, and the Spitfire and the 182 just happened to use the exact same packs. So I had plenty of packs to fly my 182 for the rest of the day, and I still came home with all of my packs flown down, not discharged, not using the discharger. So anyway, if you need a discharger, I highly recommend getting a dedicated discharger and not spending, 300 or 400 bucks. Now, don't get me wrong, 400 bucks for an ISDT, or I'm sorry, for an iCharger, not a bad investment. Those iChargers are freaking badass. The Rev Electric chargers are badass, and they do great. So like the iCharger, like the 4010 Duo, 10 cells per channel, up to 40 watts per channel. I'm sorry, 40 amps per channel, 2,000 watts. Greg Roland, the FD200, you can set it to whatever discharge you want. Now, here's how it works. It does not do a storage discharge. It discharges the exact same way your plane does. So it's not like when your plane is sucking power out of your battery that it just all of a sudden knows to stop when all three cells are balanced. But unless there's something seriously wrong with your battery, all of the cells in your pack should wear roughly equally, right? So unless you've got a bad cell and your pack is in bad shape, when you start pulling the pack down, it's going to pull all the cells down at the same rate, right? And what you can do is you can set a discharge, like where to stop. So you tell the FD200 like how many cells the pack is, and then you can enter in there how many what you want the charger to stop at, like what the on a per cell basis. Now I actually have it to pull down a little bit further because the battery does bounce back a little bit. So I discharge my batteries when I'm using the FD200. I discharge my packs to 3.75 volts per cell, and it pulls them down just a little bit, and as they kind of rebound from the end of that discharge cycle, they'll come right back up to like 3.80. So that's how I set mine up. It works awesome. It is excellent. So no, it does not do storage discharging because there really kind of is no such thing. It does the same thing that you would do if you put your battery in an airplane and flew it. Mickey BRC. So I'll tell you, work was a mofo today, man. I can't lie. Um, I'm sure y'all have had those days where you just didn't get anything done. Like, I mean, I've got a ton of crap. I've got all kinds of uh, goals that I have to meet, and I have to write this policy and that policy and this procedure and that procedure and this process and that process, and we're revamping this side of our architecture, and I have to re-engineer this and redo that, and blah, 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 blah. And we're basically just in a constant state of revising everything, which is awesome because it keeps me employed. But there's just those days where rather than trying to do proactive things to help make your company better, you are in a state of being reactive because one shit show has happened after another. And that's how today was. Today was a constant flood of reaction and putting out fires over and over and over, man. I got nothing done today. Nothing. Mickey B, that's exactly correct. This process and that process and process. And I mean, for the most part, that's what I do for a living, right? I just write a bunch of procedures and processes and policies and make nice, fancy drawings and charts and network maps and diagrams, and that's what I do. But today was not those days. Today was a bunch of getting my butt kicked. But I mean, it was still a good day. But man, I mean, those days will wear you out because you're trying to fix problems that are basically unsolvable and explaining to customers why, you know, the one thing that should never happen happened to them. Hey, Jared, how's it going, buddy? Yes, it is just a normal day. Just a normal day. That is right. But it's not like I have to go to an office anymore. If there's anything that's been good about the whole COVID-19 thing, I just sit. Excuse me. I sit in my office down here and I just have fun. But today wasn't one of those days. It wasn't like a fun day. So I did sit in my office down here, but um, we just got our butt kicked all day long, man. It sucked. But now it's over. So for those of you that are wondering, like, after the workday today, which was another, good 12-hour day. Yeah, between yesterday and today, that was like, I think in 3 days this week, I put in, the 40 hours for the whole week. But I actually worked like all 5 days, and I was doing work stuff on Saturday and Sunday. Man, what the heck? So, yeah, they got their money's worth out of me this week, dude, for sure. So, something else that is quite special this week. Not really special, but it just is what it is, right? This week, this right here, what y'all are watching right now, is, and look, I ain't proud. I don't do them all in a row. I'm not Superman. There are some times when I just miss these shows and I'm tired and I want to go to sleep and I just can't do it every week in a row. But this is the 100th episode of the weekly live show. That's crazy. So, initially, I was going to maybe do a giveaway tonight. But, I know, George, that's crazy, isn't it? And, George has been around since the beginning. A lot of you guys have. A lot of the people that watch the live show have been around since the beginning, and we've had some folks come in and go, to come and go, and it's sad, when we stop seeing those familiar faces. We've had, we've lost a few friends of the channel, especially with COVID. I can think of a few people that we've lost, and they're not coming back, right? So it's crazy. I was a young man. But rather than, commemorate episode 100, we're going to line up something special, and it may not be in 4 weeks, but it will be 4 more episodes from now, on episode 104. Paul Ballard, if I was cool, I could get that many shows in a month. But I'm just not that cool. So, so what our plan is to have something special lined up for show 104. Why 104, you might ask? Because that marks the 2-year point of doing this craziness. 52 weeks in a year, 104 gives us that right on the money 2-year mark, and that's what we're doing. So, in about a month, I look forward to celebrating the 2-year journey of the live show. 2 years. I don't think that I would be able to be quite as cool if I were to build a big old garage like that. Because I'm just not willing to leave my house to go make those shows. I'd still be either sitting right here or on the other side of the workbench. That's right. Ryan, what's up, man? So, in 4 more weeks, Ryan is going to be doing a live stream which means that I don't have to. So we're gonna try to set up a little special something and something, and maybe bring in some of our RC buddies and you know, celebrate 2 years of crazy live shows, and it'll be a good time, man. It'll be a good time. Ryan might be streaming live here in 4 weeks on a Friday night. You never know. You never know. It might not be on his show, but he might be streaming in 4 weeks on a Friday night. And maybe we'll try to, gather up a few little items. I don't know, man. We're gonna try. I want to do something special though. A little 2 year extravaganza. Extravaganza. It'll be fun. Dave, it yourself. What is happening, man? So what time is it? It ain't even 9:30 yet, is it? Oh, it just is clicking 9:30. Man, I had a couple different things I wanted to talk about tonight too. I wanted to talk about. I remember what it is. I remember what it is. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the S155 Charger. If you haven't seen it yet, after the show tonight, head over to the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel. Look at my latest videos, and you will see the video for the S155 Charger. And you can learn all about it. It's very cool. 1 through 4 cells. It's way better than the S150 Charger that it's replacing, which is just a little brick. But it's also got a big brick power supply, so the power supply is twice as big as the Charger. So, I mean, advertising that it's small and compact really is kind of a farce when you take into account that you have to take that big old power brick with you anytime you want to use it. So you got both of these big old things. So the S155 is a little more convenient. It's got the screen. You can set up your smart battery features in it. You've got a much more granular level of charge currents that you can use. You've got a lot more battery chemistries that you can use. You can watch your charge levels a lot easier. You can see your count up timers, your count down timers. You can see your internal resistance meters, your per cell voltages, all the things that you couldn't do with the S150 that you can do with the S155 for $60. Go to that video and use my links. Use my links. It's cool, man. It really is a good charger. It may not be the right charger for anybody that's in here, and that's fine, right? I think that a lot of people that watch these live shows, y'all ain't beginners no more. Y'all are graduating on to larger 4S and 6S airplanes. And these that little S155 is just not meant for 6S batteries. The next thing I wanted to talk about is progress on the Mustang. So, I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't worry, I'm not going to the bathroom. I won't be gone as long as Kenny. But I'm also not going to make you look at the nose of a habu either. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right. So even if I did have to use the bathroom, it just happens so fast because I don't have like the problem where it just is like leaking out. You know, I'm still young enough where I can apply some pressure back there and like get some, you know, some nice solid flow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all old people know what I'm talking about too. Y'all miss that, don't you? All right. So, as some of you guys know, I have been working on building a balsa plane. And here is the first wing. Now, some of y'all have seen this already. This is the first wing, fully skinned on the top. But the plans, for this wing did not have the top of the wing being fully sheeted. And it didn't have this area being sheeted over. But I put a little servo pocket in there. I've got the wire running through the wing, got the wire here. And that was as far as I had made it for a while. So this week, I have been working on wing number 2 right here. So wing number 2 is coming along nicely, but because doing the full sheeting on the top of this wing was not part of the plans, they didn't exactly give me a lot of extra balsa in the kit. So I had to order some more 1/16 inch balsa sheets. And those 1/16 inch balsa sheets, they're not expensive. They were less than $1 a piece. But the place that I got them from had a minimum order quantity. I had to order at least $25 in products from the place that I got them from. They didn't have them at Hobbytown. I was very disappointed. So I had to order $25 worth of 3-inch by 24-inch by 1/16 inch balsa planks. And now I'm going to have like 30 more sheets of balsa, which is quite a few more than I needed. So, you know, what we're going to end up with is a plane with a wingspan of about, I don't know, yay big. It's not huge, but the shapes are all starting to kind of come together a little bit, and I'm digging it, man. So hopefully we'll be finished with that thing here in the next week or two. This wing is fantastic. I still need to put the leading edge on it. The leading edge needs to be glued on and shaped. And then also the tip, the wing tip, it won't be flat over here. It's going to be rounded off and, you know, have a profile to it. But I won't be doing that until I do the leading edge. So I do still have some work to do on this guy, but not a whole lot. I just wanted to get this one mostly done because my plan is to get these 2 wings joined here in the center where I can, and get all of that part done where I can have the leading edges as symmetrical as possible. And I think it'll be easier to do that when they're already sandwiched together. You know, so yeah, once these are done, I'll be able to take this part and glue those 2 together. So we're going to have a dihedral angle of about that much. You know, so you'll have one wing and then the other wing, and you'll have a little bit of a dihedral angle to those wings. And then we're going to epoxy those 2 wings together, get everything nice and even up and squared up. And then we're going to wrap some fiberglass around the center, which makes me understand now why bringing this servo lead out where I did was a bad idea. So I'm gonna have to move this. Having it there is bad. I'm gonna need to move it back so I can wrap my fiberglass around the center to kind of keep that from cracking in half. But yeah, you know, the spar, I don't know why, right? I question everything. But initially I was like, man, these things must be real flimsy without having some kind of like dedicated wing spar in them. But they do, you know, and while it's just a little bit of piece of balsa that runs down the center of the wing, so you can kind of see the ends of the two spars right there and right there, you know, so you've got those spars running up and down the bottom and the top of the wing through all the wing ribs. But dude, that thing, you ain't bending that. If you bend this, it's just gonna break the whole wing like an egg. So I'm pretty happy so far with the progress that's getting made on the old balsa Mustang. And I mean, once I have the wings done, I might be so tickled with myself once the wings are done that I give up on the whole rest of the plane and I never finish the fuselage. I will not be doing flaps. Scotty's story is going to be ailerons only. I have seen some videos of this plane flying, and it doesn't need flaps, man. It slows down real good. And it also has a very impressive roll weight. Whoa, it has a very impressive roll weight, even with the short ailerons. Because I had also thought, like, maybe I'll do full span ailerons. You don't need to. You don't need full span ailerons, and you don't need flaps. So no, we're going to be doing no flaps and standard ailerons, and I'm pretty sure it's going to perform excellent. Yeah, Wild Bill. I mean, that's what I'm. Why don't you power it like the Mustang Pylon Racer? I think that the V1200 motor will weigh more than the entire airframe, so that might be a problem. So I mean, I probably could do like a V900 motor, which would be pretty awesome. And just not do the scoop on the bottom? Hmm. 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 David yourself, this thing is going to be, I think 1200. I think it's right under a 1200 millimeter. No. What's that, Scott? A V900? Do you have a complete V900 or a completely wrecked V900? If you have a completely wrecked V900, I would gladly take it off of your hands and throw the guts of the V900 into this here itty bitty Mustang. And instead of building it with a landing gear and all the fun stuff that a Mustang normally has, I will build it and put little aprons on the bottom. I will intentionally make it like a belly lander, and fully sheet the bottom of the plane too, and like double up on the, maybe do like a thin sheet of aluminum or something on the bottom, like aluminum foil, like clear coat some something to the bottom of the plane to make it a. Scott, that's a good idea, man. And I think this is going to be a lot lighter than the other one, but it's going to be about the same size. So it's going to be a little bit lighter than the the Dyna Mustang that I tried to put the V1200 power system in. I think a V900 power system in this little plane will actually do much, much better. And yeah, if you have like the motor, even if you don't have the ESC, we can put something together, man. We'll make it work. Let's do this. No nose weight. No nose weight. So we can turn this thing into a beast. I think that'd be awesome, and make this thing like 110, 120 mile an hour, just demon. And instead of, because I really hadn't settled on a theme for this plane yet, but heck, man, why can't this be the new Van Halen plane? Yeah, Wild Bill, the 4S V900 power system. And I think that this plane's going to have enough room where we could probably get away with a 4S, like a 4S 3200 or 4S 4000 pack instead of a little bitty 4S 2200 like the V900 used. So I think we can get away with more power, which will give us a little more flight time. We'll probably get 4 or 5 minute flights out of it, and we make it Van Halen. We'll make it Van Halen too. It'll be awesome. I honestly don't think we need to glass the whole wing, Mike. So this thing is surprisingly tough. It is far more rigid than I think that most people that haven't ever held this is it's gonna sound gross, right? But for those folks that haven't had the opportunity to hold a wood in their hands, to have this fancy wood in your hands, I mean, this thing is strong. It's plenty strong enough to cut through the air at 110, 120. I mean, this is not going to be what folds on the airplane. You know what I mean? This is not going to be the problem. This thing is badass. Especially because of the sheeting of the top part of the wing. This isn't the problem, right? I love that idea because it's not really going to be a scale Mustang anyway. But what'll be nice is when I wreck this one into the trees. Dude, there's nothing better than having wood in your hands. When I wreck this one into a tree, I'm just sending it back to its family, dude. Like the V900 right now that's sitting in the trees, or in the Florida Everglades, wherever it ended up, I'm sure it's probably inside the belly of an alligator someday, somewhere. Fine. Fine. You guys that want me to like do a layer of glass over the wings. I mean, I could be convinced to do a thin layer of fiberglass sheeting over the wings, just not to add rigidity, but to keep them from completely breaking up in the air. Yeah, I don't think I need it, right? I think that a nice, and if I'm gonna paint it anyway, right? So I mean, I would, if I was gonna do like the Van Halen paint job, you can't really do that with. I mean, I could do that with monocoat, but it would be kind of a pain in the ass. It'd be easier just to do it with an airbrush. So I would probably do, you know, if you can even buy, can you buy black monocoat? Does anybody know the answer to that? Can you buy black monocoat? Wild Bill's an old school builder. Yeah, it's a circle of life for sure, man. If you can get either matte or gloss black, I don't care, monocoat, then I think that's the way to go. Because black is the first coat of the Van Halen paint job. And for those of y'all that have never seen it, I'll be right back. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. So I've still got the old Van Halen Mustang, and I just haven't pulled all the stuff out of it yet. But this was one of those things where I was like, dude, that thing looks too cool to just throw it away. But yeah, all the black stripes that you see on there, I mean, the black is actually the first layer of paint. So the whole plane was black, and then you paint on the white. So you paint the whole thing black, and then you tape it up. And then you paint on a whole layer of white, and then you tape it up. And then you paint on a whole layer of red, and you tape it up. Well, actually, then you peel all the tape off, and what you got left is this crazy thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, can y'all hear that? Dang. Oh my God. It's so bad. And I gotta and now I gotta stay here. Oh. It's so bad. Alright. So here's the Van Halen plane. And what I thought was really cool about the Van Halen plane, outside of the fact that it's a Van Halen plane, is on the top we've got I'm taking this show to Browntown. Alright, on the top we've got the later years of Van Halen. You know, not so much the Sammy Hagar era, because he started playing with, like, you know, Ernie Ball, Music Man guitars, and then he started using PB guitars, and then he started using, then he had his own, Wolfgang brand. But what I'm talking about is like the 1984 era. And on the bottom, so that's the top of the plane. 1984, late era Van Halen. And on the bottom of the plane, was Van Halen 1, the white and black striped Van Halen 1 era. So, you know, you can't lose the orientation of the plane, because obviously one half and then the other half. So, you know, this one was cool, but it never touched the sky. It's white with black stripes, like the Van Halen 1 guitar. And the top is the red, white, and black Van Halen 2 era. So this is what we're doing. We're definitely going to do the number 2 Van Halen plane. Only the new one is going to fly, damn it. We're flying the new one. Yeah, Diver Down and 1984 era, you know, was when he had like the black, white, and red. I think he actually did the black, white, and red like during the right after Van Halen 2. So, you know, like the Women and Children First, Fair Warning era is when the red, white, and black guitar, you know, made its first appearance. And what's interesting is the same way that this is all the same plane, that mini era of the, you know, the guitars, the mini eras of Van Halen guitars, that Frankenstrat, it was always the same guitar. So on the front of Van Halen 1, where he had a black and white guitar, that was the same guitar that later became this, the red, white, and black one. You know, he just added more layers of paint, you know, would tape it up again and add more layers. So that's what we're going to do to the balls of Mustang. We're going to make it another Van Halen plane, and we're going to make it a belly lander on purpose, because I ain't putting retracts on it. And yeah, we're going to make that biatch rip. So, the other part that I still have left over from the Van Halen plane is I've still got the spinner. Boy, that don't sound good. So, I've still got the spinner that we'll be able to take off of the Van Halen plane and get it onto the new Mustang, but we'll clean it up. We'll get it balanced and all the things that people should do. We'll get a new prop, but I'll run like a 9.9 or you know, probably a 9.9 prop. What does a V900 use? An 8.8? Does a V900 use an 8.8? So air-vexed. My Balsa Mustang, you know, that I'm still working on. I'm working on wing number 2 here. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to turn the Balsa Mustang into Van Halen plane number 2. And I've already got the vinyl to put like 5150 on the side of the plane. But, and this still works, instead of just putting 5150, I'm gonna make it P-5150, because it's a P51. Hey, if you're not having fun, then, whatever. That's right, Wild Bill. P5150. Because 5150 is like the Van Halen thing, right? And it doesn't get no better than that. It's P51 and 5150, they just go together. It's got to be P5150. It's going to be awesome. Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. All right. So on the 5150 guitar, Eddie Van Halen did not use a like black tape or black paint to make that. He had that made out of it was almost like a red reflector. Um, that was pretty neat. That was like cut out of, some kind of red reflective material. And, when I was building the original Van Halen plane, like I can't, I couldn't do it unless I had some red reflective vinyl. So I'm gonna make the P5150 out of some proper red reflective vinyl, just like the original 5150 guitar was done. So I've got like a CNC. Um, oh, the EAB tape would have been cool. That would have been cool. Um, yeah, the red reflective vinyl, just like the real one, and instead, but it's gonna have P5150, and I'm gonna put that on the bottom of one of the wings, and also on the back, uh, behind between the wing and the tail. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. That's right, Cat. So I'm excited now. Now I'm kind of looking forward to getting done with it, so I can finish it. Like now, I want to be done. So yeah, Snow Valley. I mean, he's got all kinds of great stuff there with the with how he did each guitar. So cool stuff. Right, so man, are you trying to remind me of something? You trying to like tell me that it's time? So, well, Bill, I'm definitely looking forward to getting it done. I don't have enough of the balsa sheets. I used them all up, the ones that came in the kit. I don't know how long it's going to take. The company that I ordered them from, they haven't shipped yet. They say it takes like 7 to 10 days for them to get here after they ship. So I've got. Hold on, I gotta let the little rascals out. I have 7 to 10 days after they ship for them to make them down here to Georgia. They're coming from a mill up in Massachusetts. So I mean, it's a pretty cool. I don't know if y'all have used. It's a place called National Balsa. The National Balsa, they buy, I guess, trunks. You know, like big hunks of balsa, trees. You know, and they mill them there in Massachusetts. And I didn't even know how big a freaking balsa tree was, man. I mean, those things are big trees. I was thinking, like, I mean, the wood is so light from a the wood from a balsa tree is so light that you wouldn't think that the tree would be very big. You know, like a bamboo tree's not that big either. Where the heck are these retards? There's retard number 2. So yeah, I have 30 more sheets of balsa coming, and when they show up, I'll be able to finish up everything, and that should give me enough balsa to fully sheet the fuselage too. Which will just make the fuselage stronger, which is really going to be a necessity once I decide to make this thing a belly lander. And oh my god, whoo, dude, that scared the cat. All right. Anyway, I am going to fire up the Friday night Zoom because it's Friday night, man. And this is what we do on Friday nights. Yeah, well, the dogs had to go outside, and then they came back in. And then, you know, I had a bit of I had some anal trauma. And then the cat fucking heard that shit and he ran away. Oh, that was funny. Man, that is stinky too. Dude. And I didn't think much of it, but like 2 hours ago, I ate like 3 bowls of chili. I didn't even think about how that would affect, you know, my show tonight. But I'm glad that I got to share that with you because, I mean, if you don't think farts are funny, you probably wouldn't be very good friends with me anyway. Oh, shit. That's funny. All right. So I am going to jump on in here. And create a new Zoom meeting. And then we're going to come on up in here and turn the volume way down. We're going to mute and pause and boom. So you guys should be seeing it in the chat. No, you can't be sneaky when you're you can't be sneaky with all that. You know. That's funny. All right. So, for those of you adventurous types, hold on a second. I got to go in here and I got to mute some things. I got to turn some speakers off and stop some video feeds. All right. For those of you adventurous types, that want to come and talk RC live instead of just being a member of the captive audience, please join us in the Zoom sessions. We do these every Friday night. We have a bit of a little powwow with a bunch of RC friends. And, let's face it, we talk about RC for like 5 minutes, and then it just goes south. Just like when you go to the field or you go to a fly-in, and the only time that you're really talking about RC is like when you're flying the planes. Well, man, this is like after hours RC talk. Well, we'll talk planes for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And then it's no holds barred. We're just having fun with our friends on a Friday night. So come hang out with us in the Zoom. I am going to be wrapping it up here on the live show for the night. I really appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out with us. Make sure to go and watch the video that I just did on the Spectrum S155 Smart Charger. The thing is super cool. It's $60. If you want a cool little charger that you can take to the field with you when you bring out your night radiant or something like that, it'd be perfect for that kind of scenario. $60. $60. It's cheap and it's good. So check it out. Anyway, go to the video. Use my links to get yourself a new S155 charger. They are on sale now for $60. They will be getting mailed out at the end of next week. Shipping for all of y'all's pleasure. Anyway, it has been all of my pleasure hosting you guys tonight. We will see you again next Friday. Everybody have a great night. And one more time, we're going to post a link to the Zoom. If you want to keep talking RC, click the link that you see coming up here in the chat, and we will see y'all next week. Don't forget to come and hang out on episode 104, where we're going to be celebrating 2 years of Air Marshal Live. See you all later. Have a great week.